Yep, you read the title correctly. Today, I am going to be ranking all 211 Beatles songs. We'll be going in chronological order, making multiple parts to the series separated by year. In the end, I will be doing one final part after we review them all and rank them all from worst to best. I do have some rules first. I will not be counting the B-side to Yellow Submarine or the two previously released songs on it. Those will be reviewed at the albums they were originally released on. Number 2, I will be counting the US release of Magical Mystery Tour because that's the version on Spotify and it's a better version than the UK. If a song was released on a single and an album, I will only be counting it one time on the album, and I will not be counting the extra takes or German versions of songs. I will only be counting songs that released from Please Please Me to Let It Be. Nothing after, nothing before. This is my opinion. If you have any opinions you disagree with, I'd be happy to talk about it in the comments and in the inevitable cleanup video. Here's how it works. I will talk a little bit about the album I'm reviewing, review every song on the album, give the album itself a overall rating. In between albums, I'll review singles, and after every episode, excluding this one, there will be a segment where I answer questions for the comments. Without further ado, let's get into it. Please Please Me. I'm actually pretty excited for this album. Some classics, some underrated tunes, and Chains. From the songs I've heard, it's a pretty good start, but now we're listening to every song. So let's see if it's even better than I thought, or worse. I saw her standing there. Wow, that's certainly a lyric to start your first album. Jokes aside, this is a fun little love song, which Paul McCartney is a professional at writing. The guitar is great, Paul's vocals are great, especially during a part of the song where he does the most metal scream ever 5 to 7 years before metal was invented. Misery. You ever go searching on a Beatles album and find one song that you love, but you've never really heard of? That's what Misery is to me. Usually when people rank this album, they put it at number 10, or worse, but I love it. The beginning is somewhat beautiful. John and Paul have excellent vocals, and that piano. Anna, go to him. A surprisingly touching ballad about a man letting the love of his life go to another man. It's pretty solid. It also has great vocals like the previous songs. Not like their best song or anything, but still really good. Chains. I have 2 words to describe this. Annoying and mediocre. As much as I love George's vocals, they are definitely not cut for this song. Around 40 seconds in, we get a part that actually sounds pretty nice. And by the minute and 10-second mark, we go back to that annoying chorus. Not very good, I'll say that. But I won't say it's one of their worst songs ever, like some make it out to be. Not the biggest fan of the harmonica, though. Boys. Ringo's first song, and it's better than Chains. I mean, it's a catchy tune. Kind of a weird song to cover, but I like things like George's solo. My main problem with this is the part where they go, bam, bam, shoo-wap, ba-bam, bam, shoo-wap. Other than that, it's pretty good. Ask Me Why. Really like this one. It's just a charming little song, like a lot of them are. The problem with a lot of early Beatles songs is that I don't have much to say about them. They're usually just good. My favorite part is the chorus, and there's something with the way that they pronounce the ooh sound that kind of annoys me. Still good though. Please Me. Hey, a song where the harmonica is pretty good. Take notes, Chains. This song is just great. I would try to tell you the highlights, but I might as well just sing the song. One thing I know I can highlight is the ending. The Beatles knew their title track had to be strong, and they didn't just make it strong. They made it invincible. Love Me Do. The first song released by the Beatles, and they knew they had to make a good first impression. In the last review, when I was mentioning how harmonicas could be used good for a song, I didn't expect the next song to be built on harmonicas. It's a great song, written all the way back when Paul was a teen. And who knew that a teen was such a good songwriter? Am I right or am I right? P.S. I love you. You know, anytime this was paired with Love Me Do, I always read it like a note. Like, Dear Blink. Love me do. P.S. I love you. Maybe that's just the weird way I process things. Well, I actually have to talk about the song now. The harmonies are good. I like the guitar. It's way better than Chains. What else? In all seriousness, this is one of the silly little love songs, which you're going to see a lot more of them. Baby, It's You. This song is basically 90% sha-la-la-la-la-la-la. That gets a bit repetitive, but whatever. There's also a random backing vocal that says cheat, cheat, which adds a subtext that both confuses me and horrifies me. It's a great song though. You want to know a secret? Thanks, George. You've redeemed yourself after singing Chains. This one's great. It has a playfulness that you don't hear in songs very often, especially now. The beginning line of this song, having nothing to do with the rest of the song, reminds me of Here, There, and Everywhere. I believe Here, There, and Everywhere was trying to emulate this style, but we won't review that for a long time. Anyhow, this song is just so charming. I don't know why not many people listen to it. It's a real gem. A Taste of Honey. This one's a fun one. There are some parts that don't make sense, but they make up for it in enjoyment. At the end, it kind of gets worse, then the last line saves it. The best part of the song is Paul's vocals. They're even better than usual. There's a Place. Welcome back to another episode of old Beatles songs that are good, but I have nothing else to say, except they're good. Yeah, it's just a pretty good song. The highlight of the song is the guitar and harmonica. I'd honestly say it's pretty underrated. Twist and Shout. This one is so much different from the others, because it's a cover, but man does it pay off. John is practically screaming the lyrics, but he screams quite good. The guitar is great as well, and usually I don't mention the backup vocals, but they're integral to this. I genuinely don't know how they made this good song so early on. Please Please Me. Final thoughts. I genuinely was not expecting that. I knew there was going to be some great songs, but I didn't expect all the songs, except Chains, to be bangers. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. From me to you. Honestly, this song feels like a direct continuation of Please Please Me. For example, the harmonica, like we saw in many Please Please Me songs. One of which wasn't really a good use of the harmonica, but I digress. Even though there's a bunch of Beatles songs that are just 2 minutes, this one feels way shorter. But even with its short runtime, they were able to make another song that won't get out of your head, no matter how many times you try to forget. But why would you? Thank You Girl. While not as good as its predecessor, I still like it. The chorus is the strongest part. The background vocals really elevate it. Though there is one line where it says, I found a little girl, which sounds so out of place because of the added syllable. Here's an audio clip. You literally could have just said, I have found a girl, and it would make the song way better. She Loves You. Funny story about this song. When recording, Paul McCartney's father asked why didn't they use a more proper yes, 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 instead of a yeah, yeah, yeah. No shade to Paul's dad, but that would ruin this song! Anyway, this is just a classic rock and roll tune. I really love the ending. It encapsulates the entire song in just one word. Honestly, I wish this was their first number one hit in America, because it released way earlier than I Want to Hold Your Hand. So reasonably, it should have topped the charts first. I'll Get You. This one is kinda creepy. The music is very upbeat. I quite like the chorus, actually. But the lyrics are what creep me out. Lines like, I'm in love with you many, many, many times before. Or, I think about you night and day. Sounds like a stalker wrote this. I know it's just about some guy and his crush and whatever, but the lyrics sound so much worse. All the other parts are fine, a bit mediocre, but the chorus is the only noteworthy thing. With the Beatles. I'm actually pretty excited for this one. I've listened to some tracks, and I find this album quite underrated. Are those tracks the only ones that are good? Is it actually a masterpiece? Will we find a song worse than Chains? All those questions and more will be answered in this album review. It won't be long. The Beatles knew they had to have a good opening for this album. And yes, they did in fact make a good opening. Everything from the awesome guitar to the great singing makes this worth a listen. This one's criminally underrated. The ending is the highlight. I would kind of say it's the opposite of She Loves You's ending. Instead of ending on a big finish, it ends on a quiet note. That actually works in the song's favor. A good way to start the album. John kind of sounds intimidating when he says, every night when everybody has fun. All I gotta do. Hey, this is kind of the opposite of Chains. Instead of a man feeling trapped in a relationship that he doesn't want to be in, it's a man who's living a very happy relationship. And a happy relationship makes a happy song, most of the time. I feel like this could honestly be on a hard day's night. It shows John was really getting into his comfort zone when it comes to writing these. All My Lovin'. I used to kind of dislike this song. I still thought it was great, but I didn't think it deserved to be heralded as one of their best. Boy, was I wrong. I think that Paul has actually had the best lineup of songs out of any of the Beatles so far. All of his songs have been 7 or up. And I think so far, we've peaked with him. I love the guitar in this, and Paul absolutely kills it with the ending. Funnily enough, the thing that changed my mind on this song was when I was on a cruise ship. I was literally brainstorming about All My Lovin' because I was making a video for my older channel about ranking every Beatles album based on the most popular song, and I put All My Lovin' last. I heard a violin cover of the song, and I absolutely loved it. Same with Let It Be, and now I think both songs are absolutely amazing. I'm giving All My Lovin' to this song. Don't Bother Me. Turns out, George is better at writing songs than he is covering songs about being in unhappy relationships. Who knew? One of my favorite parts of this is the guitar solo. I think it perfectly represents the Beatles' sound at the time. My only gripe with this is that some parts of George's vocals sound weird, but they don't bother me that much. Here's an editor's note from Dax. I originally just put the last line, but they don't bother me that much. Then I realized that was the title of the song, and I made a joke out of it. Little Child. Awesome intro, but oh my gosh, this is like the worst song ever. I can't believe they put this on the album. Everyone involved should be ashamed. They somehow made the harmonica sound worse than Chains. I'm wondering, should I make this the butt of the joke instead of Chains? Let's not get too existential. All I gotta say is that the lyrics are repetitive and somewhat creepy. The harmonica is genuinely insufferable. I do like the piano and John's vocals. But it's John, so of course the vocals are gonna be good. Ringo was apparently going to sing this, but he reasonably said no. This is why Ringo is awesome, and to anyone that says he makes bad music, just realize how bad it could have been. Also, his songs are great, except for one. Okay, guys, just be chill. Man, I really don't like that song. Hopefully I can find something to cheer me up. Ooh, what's this? What? Till There Was You. This one's just okay. Usually with Beatles covers, I found them on the same level or better than the original. The worst thing you could do to a cover of a song that not many know is realize it's a cover while you're listening to it. The part you can tell it's a cover is the chorus. It kind of sounds like a beta version of And I Love Her, but not near the amount of greatness. And here I was, just talking about how you were making great and consistent songs, Paul. But I honestly think it could have been better if Paul did this in his solo career. His vocals are great, though. But what do you mean, there were birds in the sky, but you never saw them winging? Please, Mr. Postman. This is a better example of a Beatles cover. Not because you can't tell it's a cover. That covering a song that's actually quite popular. But it's better at being a Beatles song than the previous one. I feel bad for the postman though. John's just yelling to him, Mr. Postman, how dare you not give me any notes from my girlfriend who left me 5 years ago? Like, dude, chill. This one's kind of repetitive, but not annoying, like Chains or Little Child. The ending is pretty good though. Roll Over Beethoven. Alright, I didn't really want you to do another cover right after 2 covers, but whatever. George is back in a cover of Chuck Berry's Roll Over Beethoven. From the opening riff, you can tell it's a Chuck Berry cover, even if you didn't know the song originally. George has some good vocals in this one. Like, really good. The solo in this is awesome. It's just a really great song. Now I truly know that George is free from the chains of mediocre covers. Hold Me Tight. Although I like the instrumentation, the vocals sound a little off. The chorus is awesome, though. I don't quite get the people who hate its guts, but I also don't quite get the people who love it. It's just sort of vanilla. You Really Got a Hold on Me. This one is just the most plain Beatles cover ever. Nothing really stays in the mind except for the main lyric. It's just so boring. John sounds like he recorded this the second he got out of bed and got dragged into the studio half asleep. Now I feel like I need to go to bed. Hopefully the next one is better. I Want to Be Your Man. Ringo is back, guys, and I would have to say that this is better than his last song. Ringo sings great in this. So do Paul and John in their small part. There is some distorted guitar that sounds off in the beginning, but it's only there for like 1 second, so it doesn't bother me that much. The drums are really good, even when Ringo is multitasking. I don't know why not many people talk about it. It's pretty slow. Devil in Her Heart. I love the bluesy guitar in this one. The harmonies are super strong too. Overall, I would just call it a great cover. Ringo's drumming is super strong, probably some of his best so far. I think this song is pretty underrated. That's all I really have to say about it though. Not the best song ever, but still a great functional song. Not a Second Time. I have been really excited to review this. It's another song like Misery that no one really talks about, but I love it. And like Misery, it has a great piano. Usually when I see rankings of this, it's actually listed as one of the worst Beatles songs. Chains is right there, guys. John put his heart, soul, and pancreas into singing this. And like a lot of Beatles songs, it culminates everything into an energetic ending. Money. That's what I want. One of the best Beatles covers there is. Like last album's closer, John is practically screaming the lyrics. But he ain't a bad screamer. The piano is great on this song. I actually heard the original version first on an Ed's World video. And this one is definitely as good, if not better. For the last 45 seconds, John goes completely off the rails. And man is it good. Paul's background vocals were also great. Even though there were some mediocre songs in this album, it ended off with one of its strongest. With the Beatles' final thoughts. This album is better than most people say. Although it had few songs that were 6 out of 10s or under, it also had a bunch of 7 and 8 out of 10 songs. I would only say it's a little bit worse than Please Please Me. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. I Want to Hold Your Hand. Well, this one is quite the legacy. This is the Beatles' first number one hit in America. This is the most famous song they played on the Ed Sullivan Show, and it's just a great song. John knew that he really had to sing this one, and yes, he in fact did. From the way the opening guitar riff is played to the last note, you just feel a shot of joy. Although, in the part where they say, I can't hide, I always thought it said, I get high, which would be weird for them to do in the early 60s. This boy. Wow, I was not expecting that. I was thinking that this was gonna be another 7 out of 10 B-side, but I was pleasantly surprised. The song has some beautiful harmonies, some great guitar playing, and after all the sad build-up, we get a super energetic chorus that makes this song so much better. I kind of think this is the sequel to Anna. After the man gives up his love, he immediately regrets it, and basically tries to tell her that she should go back with him. But, I will say, I wish that, they had the chorus a second time. I still like it, though. That was great. There were so many songs to cover in this part alone, but we did it. I was not expecting it to be this good. I mean, I know it's the Beatles, but somehow it was even better than I thought. There was only 2 real duds, Chains and Little Child, and I just have to say that I loved making this, and I'm really excited for the next episode. Before I go, I have to tell you that in the next episode, we're going to be doing a segment called Ask Dax. You get to ask me questions about the Beatles. I would like it if you ask me questions about the previous part, because I'm not going to be talking about any songs that are going to be in later parts. Well, that's all I have to say. Goodbye, and I hope to see you next time.